Good morning, class 8 students. Uh, Today we continue with the revision of the language of chemistry, chapter 5. And today we will be going on with the second video, because in the last video we had studied about valency, and we had studied about valency of metals, valency of non-metals. We had studied about symbols and how to write various kind of symbols. And today we will continue with the writing of variable valency. And you see, children, what is variable valency? Let us revise that first. Some elements show more than one value of valency in different compounds. That means some elements, they can show two valencies, and these elements are said to possess variable valency. Like we see iron is one of them, and in iron we see that it can show two valencies. For example, in ferrous oxide, the valency of iron is 2, whereas in ferric oxide we see that the valency of iron is 3. So that is how we see that iron, it has two different valencies, ferrous 2 and ferric 3. And when we see that a metal shows variable valency, the lower valency of the metal ends with us. Like we saw in a case of iron, it ended with ferrous. So the lower valency 2 is added with the suffix us. And in the higher valency, we saw that the name of the metal ends with ik, like we did for ferric. Ferric has got valency 3. For example, we see that in ferrous oxide it's called iron 2 oxide, whereas in ferric oxide it's called ferric oxide or iron 3 oxide. So thus we see that there are two different valencies of the same metal, iron. Now look at what radicals are, children. Radical is an atom or a group of atoms having a charge which is positive or negative, and it behaves as a single unit in chemical reaction. What is radical? Radical is an atom or group of atoms having a charge positive or negative and behaves as a single unit in the chemical reaction. Let us understand what a radical is with the help of an example. For example, we have ammonium radical, and in this ammonium radical we see there are group of atoms like nitrogen is there, hydrogen is there, and we see that this is a positive, ammonium radical is a positive radical. So that's why we have written the valency as +1. In the chloride radical, we see again the valency is -1. In sodium radical, the valency is +1. Whereas in carbonate radical, we see the valency CO3 2- is the valency for carbonate. Likewise, we see that acid and base radicals are there. What are basic radicals? The basic radicals are radicals that have positive charge. Like we saw above here, ammonium as one of the examples, and ammonium carries one positive charge. Likewise, children, we see that sodium also carries one positive charge. Likewise, potassium also carries one positive charge, and zinc also carries two positive charges, etc. So all these are examples of basic radicals which are having positive charge. Now let us look at what acid radicals are, children. As the name suggests, it is a radical having negative charge. For example, in chlorine, we see that the charge is -1, -1. In fluorine also we see the charge is -1. In carbonate we see the charge is 2-, and in sulfate also the charge is 2-. So these are all examples of acid radicals. Then children, let us go on and see what the simple and compound radicals are. The simple radical is a radical which is made up of only one kind of atom. For example, this radical chlorine is made up of only the chloride atom, whereas fluorine is made of only fluorine atom, and the sodium radical, positively charged radical, is made of only one kind of atom, which is sodium. Likewise, potassium radical, positive radical, is made from only one kind of potassium atom. But what are compound radicals, children? It is made up of two or more kinds of atoms. What are compound radicals? Once again, children, let's revise. The compound radical is made up of two or more kinds of atoms. For example, children, let us see hydroxide, which is made up of oxygen and hydrogen, two atoms, and it has got a charge as -1. In carbonate, again we see that these are made of two kinds of atoms, carbon and oxygen, and the charge is 2-, whereas in sulfate we see again there are two different atoms, sulfur and oxygen, forming the sulfate ion, and it has got a charge 2-. Then we see ammonia, again nitrogen and hydrogen, two different atoms are there, and they are composing ammonium, which is positively charged. Now, children, let us quickly revise here what a chemical formula is. When we look at chemical formula, children, we see that chemical formula is the symbolic representation of a molecule of a compound. What is chemical formula? A chemical formula is the symbolic representation of a molecule of a compound. This is a chemical formula. And what does it tell us? It tells us the elements forming a molecule. For example, suppose we have a molecular formula for a compound called calcium oxide. Here, children, calcium oxide. So in this we see the elements forming this molecule are calcium and oxygen. So it tells us the elements forming a molecule. Then, children, we see what does chemical formula indicate? Indicates the number of atoms of each element present in a compound. So we see there is one atom of calcium and one atom of oxygen which are present in the compound calcium oxide. Then what else chemical formula indicates? The chemical formula, it indicates the fixed proportion by weight in which the elements are present. Fixed proportion by weight in which the elements are present in calcium oxide, for example. Now let us see how we write the chemical formula. We will write the positive radical first. So here we see the positive radical calcium is written first, and the valency of calcium ion is written right at the top, on the right hand top of calcium, which is calcium 2+, and we see that the valency with the other radical, the negative radical, this is written on the right hand side. So we see here oxygen is written, with the valency 2 minus. So children, we see that this is the negative radical written on the right hand side and the positive radical is written on the left hand side. So this is the first step in writing a chemical formula. Let us see the second step. The charges present on the top are interchanged. We see that the charges now will be interchanged and are written on the base of the element. So we can see it here that how we exchange the valencies of the two radicals written here. So the valency of calcium moves towards the lower right hand side of oxygen and the valency of oxygen moves opposite to the right hand side of the element calcium. Then we come to the third step. The final formula is written by writing the simple ratio. Now we will write the simple ratio Ca2 and O2. So here, because 2 and 2 is common in calcium and oxygen, we will cancel these. So 2 ones are 2 and 2 ones are 2. Now here we write the formula calcium oxide is CaO. 1 is not written here after calcium on the lower right hand side and after oxygen on the lower right hand side, because it is understood that calcium and oxygen, they carry one valency each. Now let us try some other examples. For example, let us try calcium chloride. In calcium chloride, children, we see that calcium is written on the left hand side. This is the positive radical, and chlorine is written on the right hand side, which is the negative radical. Now after writing both the valencies at the right hand top corner of both the radicals, we exchange. The second step is exchange the valency. So the valency of chlorine comes to the right and lower corner of calcium, and the valency 2 positive goes to the right hand side, lower right hand side of chlorine. So it gives us the formula calcium chloride. So we see another step, children, here. This is step of sodium thiosulfate. So sodium is written on the left hand side with the valency +1, and thiosulfate is written on the right hand side with the valency 2 minus. This is the valency of thiosulfate. The second step is we exchange the valency. So sodium gets the valency of thiosulfate on the lower right hand side, so it becomes Na2, and thiosulfate gets the valency of sodium 1 on the right hand side. So the compound now becomes sodium thiosulfate. Now another compound is aluminium nitride. Now here we see aluminium, which is positive radical, is written again on the left hand side, and nitride, which is negative radical, is written on the right hand side. And children, we see that we also write the positive valency 3 and the negative valency 3 near nitride. Now when we in the second step change or interchange the valencies, then aluminium gets 3 and nitride gets 3. Now because these are common valencies, 3 each, we will cancel it. 3 ones are 3, 3 ones are 3. So the compound that we get is aluminium nitride. Now let's try another one, children. Aluminium hydroxide. In aluminium hydroxide, we see, children, that we have aluminium radical on the left hand side, which has got a valency 3 positive, and we get the here radical OH hydroxide on the right hand side with the valency -1. The second step is crisscrossing the valencies. When we crisscross the valencies, aluminium gets valency 1 and hydroxide gets valency 3. And because the multiplication of this valency which was crossed from aluminium to the right lower side of OH, we have to put a bracket around OH so that the multiplication of this valency 3 is with both the atoms here, oxygen as well as hydrogen. And the compound we see which is formed here is aluminium hydroxide. Then let's see one of the last examples, children, of calcium phosphate. In calcium phosphate we see calcium, which is positive radical, is written on the left hand side, and phosphate, which is the negative radical, is written on the right hand side. Calcium has got valency 2 positive and phosphate has got valency 3 negative. When the valencies are crisscross in the next step, then we get the third step of calcium having valency of phosphate 3 and phosphate getting the valency of calcium 2. And as you remember, the multiplication of this valency is in all the atoms of phosphate. So we put the phosphate within a bracket and we put the valency 2 after it. So we get the compound calcium phosphate here. So children, we will conclude this video here itself, and we will see some more important radicals and their charges and some important compounds tomorrow in the next video. So children, till then, wish you all the best. Have a good day. Thank you.